Imagine waking up to a world where every word spoken to you carries a hidden motive, where smiles mask calculations, and every gesture is a move in a silent game of power. The people around you, colleagues, friends, even loved ones, seem to pull strings you didn't even know existed. But this time, something is different. You see it all. The flattery, the guilt, the subtle threats. None of it lands. It's as if you've been given a lens to see the invisible threads of influence, and now you stand untouched. This is not about paranoia or cold detachment. This is about awakening to the reality of human nature, as Machiavelli himself laid bare. He did not write The Prince to glorify cruelty, but to expose the mechanisms of control so that those who wish to remain free can recognize them. Today, I will not give you vague advice about trusting your gut or setting boundaries. This is a deep dive into the philosophy of power, the art of seeing manipulation before it touches you, and the discipline of becoming ungovernable by anyone but yourself. But before we begin this journey, if you recognize the weight of these words, if you've ever felt the sting of being used or outmaneuvered, do not just listen, engage. Like this speech, subscribe to the channel and let me know in the comments, when did you first realize you were being manipulated? Now sit still. What comes next will change how you see every interaction, every promise, and every person who claims to have your best interests at heart. The illusion of trust. Picture a wolf in sheep's clothing. Now picture a shepherd who not only sees the wolf but smiles, knowing the wolf believes the disguise is perfect. This is the first step to never being manipulated again. Understanding that trust is not a virtue but a tool, one that can be wielded by you or against you. Machiavelli did not say never trust. He said never trust blindly. Every manipulator relies on one universal truth. People want to believe. They want to believe in fairness, in kindness, in the goodness of others. And so the manipulator offers exactly that, a performance of fairness, a mask of kindness, a carefully crafted illusion of goodwill. Your first shield against this is simple. Delay trust. Let time test what words cannot. Let actions prove what promises merely claim. When someone asks for your trust too quickly, when they demand loyalty before earning it, when they speak of us and we as if your interests are already aligned, pause. Ask yourself, what does this person gain by convincing me so urgently? The moment you question is the moment their power over you weakens. The weapon of language manipulators are poets of persuasion. They do not command, they suggest. They do not demand, they imply. A master manipulator never says, "You owe me." They say, "After all I've done for you." They never say, "Do this or else." They say, "It would be a shame if." Language is their battlefield, and if you do not learn to navigate it, you will lose without ever realizing you were at war. Machiavelli wrote of this in coded terms. The wise man does what the times demand. In our age, the demand is to listen not just to words, but to silence, to what is left unsaid. When someone praises you excessively, ask, what do they want me to feel indebted for? When someone plays the victim, ask, who are they trying to guilt into compliance? When someone speaks in absolutes, everyone thinks, or no one would blame you if, ask, who is everyone? Who is no one? Language is the first tool of control, but it is also your first line of defense. Train yourself to hear the subtext, and you will see the strings before they try to tie you. The art of strategic detachment. Here is the truth most refuse to accept. You cannot be manipulated if you do not care, not in the way they want you to care. Machiavelli called this virtue. The ability to act without being paralyzed by emotion or morality when survival is at stake. This does not mean becoming heartless. It means knowing when your emotions are being used as leverage. The manipulator's greatest weapon is your own attachment to approval, to harmony, to being seen as good or kind or agreeable. They know that if they can make you fear conflict, guilt you into compliance, or flatter you into obligation, they own you without ever issuing an order. Break this cycle with one question. What do I lose by saying no? If the answer is nothing of true value, someone's temporary displeasure, a false image of niceness, then you have your answer. The untouchable man does not refuse to feel. He refuses to let his feelings be used against him. The power of mystery manipulators thrive on predictability. They study patterns, exploit habits, and target those whose reactions they can anticipate. The moment you become unpredictable, you become unmanageable. Machiavelli praised the fox not just for its cunning, but for its ability to remain unseen until it chooses to act. Do not reveal your next move. Do not justify every decision. Do not explain yourself to those who have not earned the right to your truth. When pressed, smile and say, "I'll consider it." When prodded, reply, "That's an interesting perspective." Give them nothing to grasp, no emotional hook to pull. Silence is not just the absence of words, it is a fortress. The less you say, the less they can use. The final truth: mastery of self. In the end, no one can manipulate you unless you are already at war with yourself. The man who doubts his worth will fall for flattery. The woman who fears abandonment will tolerate betrayal. The person who has not defined their boundaries will find others defining them. Machiavelli's greatest lesson was not about controlling others, but about controlling oneself. The first method for estimating the intelligence of a ruler is to look at the men he has around him. Surround yourself with those who challenge you, not those who charm you. Seek mentors, not saviors. And above all, become the kind of person who cannot be bought, because you have already paid the price of self-mastery. This is not the end. There is more to uncover, more layers to peel back. But for now, sit with this, reflect, and tell me, which of these tactics have you already encountered? The comments are yours. The next step is yours. The power was always yours. Imagine a stage. On it, actors play their parts: heroes, victims, saviors, villains. But behind the curtain, the director watches, moving each piece with precision. This is the world of manipulation, a grand performance where the unaware become unwitting actors in someone else's script. To never be manipulated again, you must step off the stage and into the role of the observer. Machiavelli knew this better than anyone. He did not write The Prince to teach rulers how to be cruel. He wrote it to expose the machinery of control. The manipulator's greatest weapon is not force, but illusion, the ability to make you believe in a reality that serves them. Every manipulator frames their demands as inevitable. You have no choice. This is just how things are. If you don't do this, everything will fall apart. They present their agenda as the only logical path, making resistance seem foolish or reckless. Your defense? Question the premise. Who benefits from this necessity? What alternatives have been dismissed before you even heard them? Is this truly the only way, or is it the only way they want you to see? The moment you realize that every must is a suggestion in disguise, you reclaim your power to choose. Manipulators do not argue with logic. They bypass it. They provoke fear. If you don't act now, you'll lose everything. Guilt. After all I've done for you. Or obligation. A real friend would. Their goal? To make you react before you think. Your counter-move? Delay your response. When emotions flare, pause. Say, "I need time to consider this." Ask, "Why do you need an answer right now?" Rushed decisions favor the manipulator. Reframe. Is this my problem to solve, or am I being recruited to solve theirs? Machiavelli warned, "He who believes that new benefits will make great men forget old injuries is deceived." Do not let temporary emotions rewrite your long-term boundaries. Everyone agrees. No one else has a problem with this. These phrases are designed to make you doubt yourself. The manipulator invokes an imaginary majority to pressure you into compliance. Your strategy? Demand proof. Who exactly is everyone? If others are fine with it, why do you need me? I'll form my own opinion, thank you. The untouchable mind does not follow crowds. It evaluates independently. A favor given is often a leash disguised as gratitude. The manipulator helps you, sometimes without being asked, only to later call in the debt. You owe me. After all I've done, your escape, preempt the game. Decline unsolicited help with grace. I appreciate it, but I prefer to handle this myself. If they insist, respond, if you're doing this freely, there's no need to keep score, right? For past favors, smile and say, I never agreed to a repayment plan. Machiavelli wrote, men are less concerned with offending someone they love than someone they fear. Be kind, but never predictable. At the core of every manipulation is a vulnerability they've detected. Your desire to be liked, your fear of conflict, your need for validation. The only way to become truly untouchable is to know yourself so well that no one can exploit what you've already mastered. What are your non-negotiable boundaries? Write them down. What emotions are your weak points? Guilt? Fear of abandonment? What do you value more than others' approval? Freedom? Truth? Peace? The moment you stop seeking external validation, you become immune to social leverage.